This particular video and the CCTV footage that has been widely shared on social media captures the terrifying moment a suicide bomber struck an anti-terrorist rally in Pakistan's northwestern Swat Valley, where demonstrators had gathered to demand peace and stronger action against terrorism. Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Deepdive. I'm Savri Jindal. Pakistan's security forces are facing renewed scrutiny over their counter-terrorism preparedness, especially after a suicide bombing at an anti-terrorist rally in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's Swat district, killing 19 people, with recent incidents exposing what the country's officials described as a dangerous double-tap strategy increasingly employed by terrorists. The goal isn't just the initial damage, it is to maximize casualties by exploiting the predictable instincts of others to rush to help. The latest attack took place on Sunday in Kabul town of Swat Valley, where hundreds of people had gathered for an anti-terrorist rally near a police station, chanting slogans for peace and demanding stronger action against extremist groups. A suicide bomber detonated explosives amid the crowd, killing 19 people, including civilians and police personnel, while injuring more than 24 others. Witnesses said speakers at the rally had criticized the authorities for failing to eliminate terrorism, insisting that ensuring security was the state's responsibility. The explosion ripped through the gathering moment later, causing widespread panic. The attack comes amid growing concerns over evolving terrorism tactics. According to a Dawn report, terrorists have increasingly been adopting the double-tap strategy, in which an initial assault on a police installation is followed by a second strike targeting reinforcement teams rushing to the scene. The tactic has become a recurring and serious problem in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province over the past few years. The report said that terrorists typically launch an attack on a police checkpost or station before positioning another team along routes likely to be used by reinforcements. As additional police personnel move towards the attacked location, they are ambushed through improvised explosive devices or IEDs, roadside attacks, or loitering drones capable of dropping explosives. Senior police officials were quoted as saying that predictable response patterns have repeatedly turned reinforcement teams into vulnerable targets. They believe inadequate planning and insufficient tactical training has contributed to heavy casualties among police personnel responding to emergencies. According to the report, at least 16 police personnel, including 3 deputy superintendents of the police, have been killed over the past 3 years while responding to attacks rather than during the initial assaults themselves. The most recent example came on July 29th, when terrorists attacked a police checkpost in Khazina Banda in the Hangu district before launching a second assault on reinforcements. The attack left 9 police personnel, in fact including DSP Diyar Khan, dead and injured 28 others. Since then, the tactic has repeated. Earlier incidents followed a similar pattern. On January 15, 2023, DSP Sardar Hussain and 2 gunmen were killed in an IED blast while responding to an attack on Sarband police station near Peshawar. Another attack on March 30th, 2023 claimed the lives of DSP Iqbal Momand and 3 constables when an IED exploded as a police contingent headed towards Sadar police station in Lucky, Marwat. While no groups have claimed responsibility for the bombing so far, the suspicion is expected to fall on the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which has intensified attacks across the country in the last years. Pakistani authorities have repeatedly alleged that TTP terrorists operate from sanctuaries in Afghanistan, a claim denied by Kabul. The Swat Valley was once a major stronghold of terrorists before a large-scale military operation drove them out in 2007. However, residents have increasingly expressed concern over the return of extremist elements, leading to repeated public demonstrations demanding stronger security measures. Analysts are now describing this as exposing a tactical gap in how Pakistani law enforcement agencies are trained, because the heaviest losses in these attacks have consistently come not from the initial strike but from the follow-up attack on the reinforcements rushing in. Predictable emergency response patterns where backup is sent to a known location along known routes. This gives attackers a second opportunity to strike once they know exactly where responders will converge. The recurrence of double tap attacks has pushed Pakistani security analysts to call for changes in first responder protocol. Things like staggered responses timing, the perimeter clearing before entry, and better coordination to stop reinforcements from becoming the second wave of casualties. Joining us to take this conversation forward is Major General Dr. Rajan Kochar, defense and geopolitical expert, joining us on the broadcast. I appreciate you taking out time and your perspectives, because you will be able to help us understand this better. This double tap strategy that has been incorporated in the past couple of years, and because of that, the number of casualties that are being reported, it is truly alarming. But what are your perspectives on that front?
Thank you, and Jai Hind. I think it's a very, very important discussion, because this is part of the normal military training, what we also undertake in our academies, and of course the specialized training as far as the guerrilla warfare is concerned. What we are observing in this double tap system, which you actually mentioned, it's not a new kind of a system. It has been earlier also from 2024. If you see a kind of attacks in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as well as Balochistan, these forces, these freedom fighters or the insurgent forces, which we call them, are quite well trained in these kind of attacks. But unfortunately, the Pakistan army is not that well trained. As you mentioned, the Swat Valley and all these areas, these are strongholds of Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan. And what basically it implies is that, and if you go back to Afghanistan, Syria and Iraq, certain lessons which had emerged from these areas have been picked up, by these insurgents. So what exactly is a double tap? Actually, what happens is that whenever you carry out an ambush or you lay out an ambush, the three things which are important for a successful ambush is firstly knowledge of the terrain. Secondly, intelligence available, especially the local intelligence which is available, because we come to know the movements of people, and the roster changes also take place too. That details this intelligence actually goes. They come to know that when the duties are going to change and what kind of commanders are going to visit a headquarter. And the third important aspect is the exfiltration. Or after carrying out an attack, you also need to have a safe passage. So these three things are very important: intelligence and local support, exfiltration, as well as knowledge of terrain. So what is happening in this particular incident is that whenever ambush takes place, the first action of those people who have been ambushed is to send in reinforcements. So these, and especially in these mountainous areas, the avenues of reinforcement are limited, because in case these reinforcements are going to come by road, so these roads are specific in nature and predictable. So what they do is these insurgents, they have their people on, supposing in a high ground or a mountain, from where they can observe, and IEDs are already laid there before arrival of these reinforcements. So the moment these reinforcements are coming in, firstly the IDs will go up, and then the sniper action will take place, because they have snipers at various locations, and they will carry out these attacks. So Pakistan security forces, especially Pakistan Army, has suffered a large number of casualties on account of these aspects. So I think the training aspect, because here the training aspect is very important in case an army has to train to counter such aspects, because the Indian Army can also face a similar kind of situation when we are fighting in the northeast, especially those areas where recently Assam rifle patrol was ambushed.
Right.
So what we need to understand is we need to have a, bomb disposal squads as part of the reinforcement. Road opening parties, because before the reinforcements are rushed in, the road opening parties have to be sent in to sanitize those areas, and they have those sensors and mines equipment of detecting, and also they're able to detect that, and then these reinforcements must be ushered in, because unless you have training on these aspects. And my last point is, we have been following a system of inner cordon and outer cordon. So whenever we are trying to bring in the reinforcements, or trying to extricate the people who have been ambushed, your inner cordon is laid and an outer cordon is laid. Because once you have these two cordons in place, it will be very, very difficult for the exfiltration of the insurgents to take place. And right at the beginning of this program, I had actually mentioned that exfiltration is also a very important operation.
Right.
So once an operation has been done, exfiltration forms a very, very valuable part of the riposte which the security forces have to undertake.
Right, absolutely. So with that, I'd like to thank you for joining us and sharing your perspectives with us. On that note, we slip into a very short break. Thanks for watching.